All right, let's look ahead to round two, guys. The Bruins and Islanders will face off for the right to be the champs of the East Division. The Bruins are minus 230 favorites to win the series. Paul, do you agree with those odds?
You know what? They certainly make the Bees a heavy favorite. I think this is going to be a much closer series, though. The Islanders won the first 5 games of their season series when we look back, but the Bruins took the last 3. That leads me to a key point. Boston has solidified their second line with the addition of Taylor Hall, who arrived before that streak began, that later season streak. And he looks like a star player once again. That means the Isles have to pick their poison against 2 very good scoring lines for the Bruins. I think the Isles' offense is second best in this matchup. The Bruins' defensive structure is every bit as good as the Isles. And I also give the Boston team the edge in goal with Tuukka Rask. And that's why I do expect them to come out on top at the end of the series as victors. But it's going to be a tight fit. I think the Bruins fans are going to sweat this one out, but if you bet on them, you'll win.
AJ, do you think the Bruins should be minus 230 favorites against the Islanders? Again, I'm sorry about what they did to you.
Absolutely not. I definitely don't think they should be that heavily favored. I mean, yeah, New York's biggest star, Matthew Barzal, is still looking for his first tally, but the Isles have gotten 9 goals out of Anthony Beauvillier, Brock Nelson, and Josh Bailey on a second line that, yes, the Bruins' second line is better than it was in the past, but I think the second line in the Island is unmatched. And then between the pipes, it's going to be all rookie Ilya Sorokin, who's overtaken that starting job on the heels of a 4-0 playoff record. Let's not forget the games the Penguins won were against Varlamov, Simeon Varlamov, rather. And Sorokin's got a .93 save percentage. The Bruins are just so heavily favored in this one. You have to take the value, in my opinion, and take the Islanders at plus 180 to win the series.
Jeff, who you rolling with?
It really does feel like they don't want you to bet the Bruins here because they're such big favorites. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they are drifting into this big favorite territory. But I mean, I'm going to side with AJ here. I mean, look, this is a pretty ridiculously big line for a team like the Islanders who added some depth at the deadline, and they just pulled off a big upset without one of their best offensive players doing anything. I mean, that's generally a pretty positive sign for your team going forward. They do have the option to go back to Varlamov and net in case something happens. The Bruins are kind of, stuck with, not just stuck, but, it's Rask or bust there. So the Islanders are a pretty deep team. I'm not sure if they should be this big underdogs against anyone at this point. We've seen them perform in the playoffs before as well. So it's just too small a line to take for the Bruins, quite frankly. And I think you're definitely getting, the better value on the Islanders. Now, I think the Bruins will probably squeeze it out too, but as far as betting, yeah, I don't mind this line at all for the Islanders.